You pick it up. You don't even know why. You stare at the screen for a second, find nothing new, put it down, then 40 seconds later you pick it up again. It feels embarrassing when you notice it, like a tic you can't explain. But here is what nobody tells you. That reflex is ancient. That urge is not a product of Silicon Valley. It is a product of your nervous system, and it was built long before glass and aluminium existed. Your brain is not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The problem is, the world changed faster than your brain did. This is the story of why you cannot stop checking your phone. And it begins about 300,000 years ago, on an open plain, with a creature very much like you, scanning the horizon for something that might kill it. Your earliest ancestors lived in a world that punished inattention with death. Miss the rustle in the tall grass, and something ate you. Ignore the stranger approaching from the tree line, and your family died. Stop paying attention for even a moment, and the whole fragile project of survival collapsed. The brain that survived was the brain that could not stop scanning, could not stop checking, could not rest without first confirming that the environment was safe. Neuroscientist Jaak spent decades mapping what he called the seeking system. It is one of the oldest circuits in the mammalian brain. It predates language. It predates memory as you know it. It is a loop of dopamine-driven curiosity that compels an animal to explore, to look, to investigate. Not because there is a reward waiting, but because checking might reveal one. That last part is the key. Might. The seeking system does not respond to certainty. It responds to possibility. The animal that keeps sniffing at the ground, keeps checking the burrow, keeps scanning the tree line, that animal finds food, finds danger before danger finds it, finds a mate, finds safety. The animal that stops checking dies. So you are descended entirely from the ones who could not stop. Now compress 300,000 years into a single evening. You are sitting on a sofa. Nothing is trying to kill you. The environment is controlled, familiar, safe. But your brain does not know that. Your brain is still running the same ancient scan loop it ran on the open plain. Check, analyze, update, repeat. And then someone handed that brain a device that feeds the loop perfectly. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered something in the 1950s that the entire app industry would one day exploit. He was studying pigeons. He gave them a lever to press. When the lever always released a food pellet, the pigeons pressed it sometimes. When the lever released a pellet randomly, the pigeons pressed it constantly. They became almost frantic. Couldn't stop. Skinner called it a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. It is the same mechanism that makes slot machines impossible to walk away from. And it is the same mechanism built into every notification, every feed, refresh on your phone. You pick it up. Sometimes there's something there, sometimes there isn't. That uncertainty, that variability, is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. Your ancient seeking system cannot resist a loop where the reward is unpredictable. It is not a matter of willpower. It is a matter of neuroscience. Your phone is not a communication device. It is a superstimulus. A term coined by ethologist Nikolaas Tinbergen, who noticed that animals would abandon real eggs to sit on fake ones if the fake eggs were bigger, brighter, and more extreme than anything nature had ever produced. The animal's brain couldn't compute that the exaggerated version was fake. It just responded powerfully to the signal. More signal. Respond more. Your phone produces social signals at a volume your brain has never encountered in its entire evolutionary history. 100,000 years ago, your social world was maybe 150 people. A small band. If you were excluded from that group, you died. If you lost status in that group, you suffered. The stakes of social attention were existential. So your brain evolved to monitor social information obsessively, to track who was looking at you, who was ignoring you, who approved, who didn't. Now your phone delivers that signal from hundreds of people, sometimes thousands. Likes, views, comments, messages. Each one hits the same ancient circuit that evolved to track whether Caro on the other side of the fire was pleased with you or angry. Except now there are infinite versions of Caro. And the fire never goes out. This is why you check it when you wake up before you even remember where you are. Your brain's threat and social monitoring systems come online before conscious thought does. Before you have had a single idea or intention, your nervous system is already asking, what happened while I was asleep? Is everyone okay? Am I still in the group? Did anyone need me? The phone is just the most efficient answer to questions your body has been asking since before the concept of a morning existed. Researcher Larry Rosen at California State University has studied what he calls technofrance, the way technology interrupts thought, relationship, and self-regulation. He found that the average person checks their phone every 15 to 20 minutes, even in the absence of any notification, even when nothing is happening. The brain invents urgency because it has not been given a real threat to track. So it generates its own. What if I missed something? What if something changed? What if someone needs me? These are ancient questions wearing modern clothes. Here is the counterintuitive part. The phone does not make you anxious. The phone is your brain's attempt to relieve anxiety. The checking is soothing. Each glance is a micro-confirmation that the environment is still safe, that your social standing is intact, that no danger has emerged. The problem is that the soothing only lasts about 40 seconds, because the world keeps moving. So the scan loop resets and you need to check again. You are not addicted to your phone. You are addicted to certainty in a world that never offers it. The phone just happens to be the fastest way to chase that feeling. Adam Alter, a psychologist at New York University and author of a deep study into behavioral addiction, has pointed out that almost all modern behavioral traps share a single feature. They exploit the brain's inability to update its evolutionary software fast enough to recognize the mismatch between the ancient environment it was built for and the technological environment it now inhabits. Your brain is not stupid. It is just running a program that was written for a different world. A world where checking meant survival. A world where missing something could mean death. So what do you do with this? The answer is not to hate yourself for it. The answer is to understand the loop so clearly that you can see it while it is happening. You pick up the phone, you notice the pull, you recognize it not as a flaw, but as a signal from the oldest part of you, still faithfully doing its job, still scanning the horizon, still protecting the band, still alive. Your ancestors couldn't stop checking the dark at the edge of the firelight. And because they couldn't stop, because that loop kept running, you exist. You are here. That restless, scanning, seeking brain kept an unbroken chain of humans alive for hundreds of thousands of years. Tonight, when you reach for your phone for the 40th time today and find nothing new, try to feel it for what it is. Not weakness, not distraction. A 300,000-year-old reflex, still doing exactly what it was built to do, still watching the horizon, still making sure you survive. The plane is gone, the loop remains,